Good morning. Welcome in. Happy Memorial Day, everybody. Hopefully, you guys are having a good holiday. Hopefully, you're going to have a good holiday the rest of the day. Be safe, practice. If you're into any activities, be safe. Our stream is under attack currently. Our cat wants in this room really bad. So if you hear the cat, just disregard. He will get plenty of attention after the stream. But welcome in. So we have a lot to talk about. Big weekend to recap. We've got basketball tonight. Game 4, 2-1 to the Thunder. Game 4 tonight. Wolves looking to tie it up, which is going to be huge. Obviously for us, because if you've followed along with the streams and you've been keeping up with that, some of the futures, tickets that we have. So, that'll be a big watch for us tonight. And then we also have baseball, a lot of day baseball. You guys know, if you followed me for a long time, I love these holiday day baseball slates, whether it be Memorial Day, whether it be 4th of July. I feel like we always have a lot of success, on these day holidays, specifically in the baseball streets. So we've got some MLB bets to talk about, some MLB games to talk about. We've got the NBA game tonight. Lots coming on the stream. If you guys are in the chat, say hello. Let me know if there's any plays that you guys like for today. And we're gonna dive right in. We're gonna start off, I guess, a little weekend recap. Last night's game between the Knicks and the Pacers was absolutely insane. So game 1, we have, the Pacers, really going out and snatching that victory from the Knicks after the Knicks were up the entire game. Crazy comeback. And then we had not quite to the extent of game 1 in terms of the lateness of the comeback, but the Knicks were down 20, at one point in that game. They come back and win. If you saw my tweet yesterday, I was on Knicks money line. So I had honestly, we've kind of been proven this playoff run that any of these games, no matter what the score is just never out of reach, because we have seen just insane comebacks every single round and basically every single series. But even though we've seen that, I was counting Knicks money line as completely dead once they got down 20. I had no faith in that whatsoever, but shout out to them. Season on the line. They rallied together and came out victorious. So I think, I still think the Pacers are going to win the series, but credit to the Knicks for winning that game, getting themselves back in the series. Now they have a chance, like the Wolves tonight. The Wolves are at home, though. Obviously, Knicks are still on the road, but both teams have chances to tie up their series 2-2 and, go on from there. So we'll see what happens, but I thought it was a great game. Karl Anthony Towns continues to just be an enigma. I just can't figure him out. Most of the time, he doesn't play winning basketball. And I think that it's such a weird situation with Towns because he can play winning basketball. Like, he's obviously good enough to do so. He just struggles to put it all together for whatever reason. And I think that frustrates his teammates. And I think it's why he's had issues in the past, whether it be with Jimmy Butler or really whoever was on, the Timberwolves when he was there. I think it can frustrate teammates because they know what he can do and he just doesn't always do it. But I mean, credit to him, honestly, probably the best, quarter of basketball he's played in his career, given the circumstance. Team down 0-2, game on the line. He comes out 20 points in the fourth quarter. So I want to give Karl Anthony Towns, someone that I'm critical of a lot of the time on these streams, I will give him his flowers. I thought that was a great performance late in that game, and certainly the Knicks, don't win that game without him last night. Jalen Brunson didn't have a great game. McCall Bridges didn't have a great game. Really was down to Towns to, lead that comeback. So I thought that was really fun to watch. As for the other series, which we have taking place tonight, that being the Thunder and the Wolves, Wolves came out back against the wall, down 0-2, and had their best offensive performance by far of the series. The shooting corrected a little bit. They had been shooting terrible, especially from 3-point for the first two games. That corrected at home. Role players typically play better at home, so that's not shocking. We'll see if that can continue tonight. I do have some spots that I like in that game betting wise tonight, so we'll talk about that. And I'm going to be hoping for another Wolves victory, man. I would love to see them get this back to 2-2, going back to OKC. So we'll go ahead and jump into that game, and then we'll move to MLB. And it'll probably be a quicker stream today. I'm going to fire through the spots I like. Like I said, if you guys have anything in chat that you are interested in, go ahead and post it. But I'm just going to rip through kind of the stuff I like, and we'll go from there. So starting off in this Wolves and Thunder series, we talked about it on Friday. He hit it on Saturday. I want to go right back to Naz Reid in the rebound department. His line's sitting at 6.5 here, and I took it at 6.5. It's minus 106 on FanDuel. I took this at plus 106 on DraftKings. Obviously, I have FanDuel pulled up, so if you're going to tail, go ahead and check around some other books and see if you can get a better line than minus 106. But I like going right back to this Naz Reid rebounds play. So we pulled up his stats against the Thunder in the regular season on Friday's stream. So I'll do that again, and then we'll also pull up his rebound chances in the series. So if we look at Naz Reid's last 4 games, which were regular season against the Oklahoma City Thunder, dating back to December 31st of 2024, he has rebound totals of 8, 14, 11, and 11. And then he's played them 3 times in the playoffs this year, that being rebound totals of 8, 8, and 8. He's got 8 rebounds in all 3 games this series, and he's hit, that over 6.5 in his last 7 combined against the Oklahoma City Thunder. So I think it's a really good spot for him. Once again, just looking at his chances for the playoffs, we look at the all playoff rounds. He's sitting at only 8.6 rebound chances per game for the entirety of the playoffs this year. So that doesn't sound like something, that we would want to buy into, a 6.5 rebound total with a guy that's getting 8 rebound chances per game, right? That doesn't sound very good on the surface. But if we isolate that to just this series against the Thunder, he's up to 12 rebound chances per game. And there's a couple different factors as to why that could be. And I think it's sticky just because not only are the rebound chances up in this series to support that, 8 rebounds per game, but, he's been hitting this consistently, even in the regular season against this team. So I think just individually for him in this matchup against this team, it's a good spot for him. So I like going right back to Naz Reid rebounds over 6.5. If you want to just take the 8+, I would have no issues with that. On FanDuel, he's sitting at plus 162 for that. Like I said, you can probably get some better odds, whether it be, DraftKings, Bet365, shop around a little bit. ESPN Bet maybe, might have better odds. But if you want to go right back to the 8+ as well, I think you can do that. So Naz Reid rebounds going to be my favorite bet in this game, going to be my favorite bet of the day overall. I also think you can go to his points plus rebounds, which, again, I think is higher on FanDuel. It is sitting at 18.5 on FanDuel. I took this at 17.5 on DraftKings. So, again, go shop around. If you can get a 17.5, I'd be comfortable playing that. He shot much better. We talked about that on Friday as well, and then he made his first 3-point attempt on Saturday. He was like 0 of 11 or something from 3 in this series. That just simply, wasn't going to continue. He was going to shoot better at some point. That came for him in their last game, but he can shoot, fine at home again today. He can score offensively. Like I said, we already like him in the rebounds department. So if you want to double dip and take the points plus rebounds, I would be fine with that as well. I'm going to put his rebounds prop in the bet slip so you guys can see it, just because that's my favorite play. I won't put the points plus rebounds in there just because I took it at a different line than that 18.5. But digress. I like Naz Reid in general again tonight. I liked him in the last game. I like him again tonight. I also think this is a play I liked on Saturday. It didn't end up hitting just because the Thunder just got completely boat raced. They were having no success offensively. They were having no success in general. And then, those guys didn't play their full minutes because of the blowout. But I like going to this Jalen Williams rebounds plus assist prop. He's sitting at 10.5 on FanDuel. It's very juicy at minus 132. You might be able to get some better odds somewhere. I took a minus 125 on this. So maybe shop around again and see if you can find a better line. But Jalen Williams has been averaging crazy rebound chances and potential assists in this series relative to what we saw from him in the entirety of the playoffs. So again, just looking at Jalen Williams, if I pull up the Thunder here, and we'll do all playoffs. So his rebound chances for the entirety of the playoffs this year is at 10.3. If we isolate to the conference finals, he is up over 11, and that number has come down a little bit just because of how wonky the last game was. So keep that in mind, but still it's up. And then if we look at the potential assists for him as well, let me pull that up. If we look at all playoffs for Jalen Williams, he is around 10 in that department as well. If we isolate to just this series, he is up a little bit higher as well. And again, those numbers have come down after that last game, but double digit, both rebounds, potential rebounds and potential assists. Good spot for Jalen Williams once again. So I like going to that rebounds plus assists over 10.5 with him. I played the Timberwolves. I didn't bet them full game on Saturday. I bet them in the first half, which obviously was a winner. They were up big at halftime. Think you could go right back to the well there and take them plus 104 for the first half winner. I would be fine with that. Don't know if I'm going to force it, especially because I really like these props that I'm going to be playing. But I do think Minnesota for the first half is a good look once again. And I think that's about all I have for this game. I would assume SGA plays a little bit better, but to be honest, I thought that Minnesota made some pretty good adjustments in terms of obviously their defense. We'll see if that's sticky game to game. Like it's easy, not easy, but you can go do that once. Can you do it for multiple times in a series? I don't know. We'll see, if they can continue that tonight, but I thought they did a good job on SGA as a whole. I know he really didn't play as many minutes as he typically would because of the blowout, but he shot he had only 14 points and he shot, 4 of 13 from the field. I thought they did a pretty good job defending him. So we'll see if that's sticky game over game. We'll obviously preview the Knicks and Pacers tomorrow. Pacers are favored at home. Line's 2.5 again, which that's part of the reason why I was on the Knicks yesterday so heavily. I'm not really someone that believes in like the trap lines anymore, just because it just doesn't seem like how this has been operating the last year or so. Like there's just so much public information available on the betting sides of things. I haven't really been, implementing that, like the line just looking fishy. But yesterday I just thought it was really weird that the Knicks were only plus 110, and then they actually closed. I think it closed even because I checked right before the game on DraftKings and I saw minus 110. So it moved down even more after, we took it at plus 110. So I'll dive into that tonight and we'll preview that game tomorrow. In the baseball streets, I like the Baltimore Orioles today at plus 100. They start at 3 o'clock. Eric Fetty, Charlie Morton. Charlie Morton has not been good by any stretch this season, but if you have been watching the streams in recent weeks, you know that Eric Fetty is a guy that we have been pretty consistently fading. and he has still been outperforming his metrics, even though he had a bad start in his last one, I'm pretty sure, and we took advantage of that. Let me just double check that I'm thinking of the right thing. Yeah, so he faced Detroit in his last start, and we took Detroit's team total for the first 5 innings over 2.5, which cashed. He gave up 4 earned runs in 5 innings. Even with that 4 earned run performance, he is still sitting at a 3.77 ERA, 5.12 expected, just a really bad 14% strikeout rate, really high 45% hard hit rate allowed. His walk rate is still double digits. Just a really concerning profile for Eric Fedde overall, and I'm completely comfortable continuing to fade him for the foreseeable future. So I like the Baltimore Orioles on the money line tonight. If you want to take them first 5 money line, you could do that. And then I also like, for the player props department, Gunnar Henderson, 2+ total bases. Really good spot here. Obviously, just talking about how I think Eric Fedde is due for some regression. And we know that he's a pretty heavy sinker ball pitcher. Gunnar Henderson not only has been great from an underlying metric perspective this season, 58% hard hit rate, 95 average exit velocity, which is a career high for him. He is a very good sinker hitter as well. If we look at last season, he hit 305 against sinkers with a 52% hard hit rate. This year, he's hitting 303 against sinkers as well. So Gunnar Henderson, I like for total bases. I was going to take hits, runs, RBIs, but it's a little juicy for my liking. So we're going to take the total bases. And obviously, I like the Orioles on the money line. Continuing on down, I think there's a couple other spots that stick out. The over in the late game is a little bit interesting to me. Angels offense hasn't been terrible. We know that the Yankees can score, although they are leaving Coors Field, and there has kind of been I would have to look into the data on this specifically, but I think there's been, a trend of teams leaving Coors Field in recent years and like underperforming offensively in their first game out of Coors. So, just at a first glance, I was interested in the over, but maybe I would probably avoid that. I need to do a little more research into that one. I kind of like the Royals, but I haven't played it at -120 against Nick Martinez and the Reds. Obviously like the Mets, but they're just such big favorites here. That would be a parlay piece only for me. So I think what we should do is, because it's Memorial Day, we'll have some fun and build a little home run parlay, starting off with obviously Gunnar Henderson, who I just mentioned that I really like today. So put him in there. I think we can go with Shohei Ohtani against Gavin Williams. First and foremost, Gavin Williams has just not really lived up to what I thought he could do coming into the season. I thought he was a potential, breakout candidate, and he just really hasn't been. 4.73 expected ERA, 12% walk rate is pretty concerning. 42% hard hit rate. He's always allowed hard contact, and that's continued this season. He is going to rely on that fastball, throws it 50% of the time, and then balances out with the sinker or with a sweeper. The sweeper's fine, 26.5% whiff rate on it. He gives up just a 139 expected batting average. The problem is the fastball, 319 batting average allowed with that fastball. And, when you're running into this Dodgers lineup, that's a little concerning to me. We know Ohtani has just monster splits in general, but he has absolutely feasted on fastballs in his career. I'll go all the way back to 2022. So this is Ohtani against fastballs since 2022. 303 batting average, 67% hard hit rate. That's 2022. 2023, 402 batting average, 68% hard hit rate. 2024, 286 batting average, 66% hard hit rate. And then if we look at this year, 318 batting average, 72% hard hit rate. Just really, really concerning matchup for Gavin Williams tonight. And that's just Ohtani. Obviously, The Dodgers as a whole are a pretty good fastball hitting team. So we'll go ahead and throw Ohtani in the home run parlay along with Gunnar Henderson. And then the last guy I want to take is someone I've been waiting to buy low on, and I want to pull up his expected statistics here. So if we look at Mr. Royce Lewis, the underlying numbers aren't fantastic, but he is still coming back from injury, right? Like we don't have a huge sample size from him this season, but even though his expected numbers aren't lighting up the leaderboards, they're still a good bit higher than what he has been doing. Like his 274 expected WOBA is not good by any stretch, but it's a good bit higher than his 213 actual. So I still expect him to continue, to improve and kind of round back into form here. So I'm going to throw our friend Royce Lewis in here as well. So a 3-leg home run parlay for this Memorial Day, 99-1 odds. Shohei Ohtani, Royce Lewis, Gunnar Henderson. I'll tweet this out later as well for anyone that misses the stream or wasn't able to tune in live. If you guys missed stuff, I'll tweet this stuff out later. But I think Memorial Day we have some fun, and we throw in this 99-1 home run parlay. We do also have hockey tonight. Florida Panthers, Carolina Hurricanes. Florida has been completely and utterly dominant in this series. They're big favorites again tonight, -188. Tough to really expect anything other than a Florida win. Steve will be coming on the stream Wednesday again, so we'll definitely chop up some hockey with him. I thought last week's edition with him and Aiden was really good, so well, we'll be talking some more hockey on Wednesday. This did just move down, though. This was -188. Somebody just put a big wager on the Hurricanes to move that to -182. Overall, like I said, it was going to be a quicker stream today. I just wanted to rip through the stuff that I was interested in. We will be live tomorrow with a longer episode, a more usual episode, and we'll kind of dive into what went on today, holiday stuff, all that fun stuff. Like I said at the top of the stream, hopefully you guys are having a good holiday, and hopefully you get to spend some time maybe with some family. If you're partaking in any sort of recreational activities, make sure you guys be safe and all that good stuff. But overall, thank you guys for tuning in today. Appreciate all of you. Hopefully we can make some money. I feel like we have a pretty good track record in my history on Memorial Day, so hopefully we can keep that up. But overall, thank you guys for tuning in. Good luck with your bets tonight, DFS, fantasy. I'm going to be hitting this DFS slate pretty hard. I love these holiday day baseball slates. So good luck with that. And I'll see everybody on Tuesday, same time, same place.